Angie with News OK. I'm here with George Lang, who is the Assistant Entertainment Editor for the Oklahoman. We're talking about Get Smart, which is a movie coming out tomorrow.
That's
actually
right.
going to be out in theaters. This is an old, this is a new, obviously, movie, but it's based off of an old series.
Exactly.
What do you think? Will fans enjoy the new one?
Well, this, yes, it's based on the 1960s series starring Don Adams and Barbara Feldon. It was created by Mel Brooks and Buck Henry, so it had quite a pedigree, and there's a huge loyal following to this, even to this day, 40 years later. This new version stars Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway in the Agent 86 and Agent 99 roles, and it's not quite the same kind of tone. You know, if you remember the original Get Smart, it was very slapsticky, but it was also very witty. This one, it's more of an underdog story. Steve Carell plays Maxwell Smart as a sort of a pencil pusher. He's an intel analyst for Control, this government agency that's constantly in battle with this Eastern Bloc terror organization called Chaos. So he's a little frustrated because he has to spend all of his days analyzing when he wants to be out in the field. And so when they learn that Chaos is threatening to set off some nuclear warheads in some major metropolitan areas, he gets the opportunity to actually go out there with Agent 99, played by Anne Hathaway, and be a super agent. Now, it has some great moments in it and some pretty great action scenes, but it doesn't have the kind of laughs that I was expecting. But on balance, Carell and Anne Hathaway, they have some good chemistry in it, and so and there's some good solid supporting roles by Alan Arkin and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. So it's a solid summer comedy. It's not as great as I was expecting, but it's pretty good.
It's a little different from the original series.
That's right. The tone's just a little different.
Well, then tell us about the press conference. You actually interviewed in the press conference Anne Hathaway and Steve Carell. How are they? What are they like?
Well, the tone at the press conference, it was actually funnier than the movie. I mean, at least as far as I was concerned. Steve Carell, he has this great background in Second City, doing improv comedy. So his mood and his tone and his energy is just lightning fast. I mean, his comedic timing is just great when people are asking questions. And strangely enough, Anne Hathaway could keep up with him. I mean, note for note. She told this great story about how they have this kiss scene in the movie, and how at the time she had conjunctivitis, pink eye, and so this very glamorous actress kind of takes all the mystique out and tells this horrible, gross story about her pink eye kiss scene with Carell. But it was all very funny. These they certainly have good chemistry. So it was a lot of fun talking to him.
Of course, Steve Carell, we all know him for doing The Office. So how is his transition to the big screen going?
Well, a couple of years ago, he had a huge hit with The 40-Year-Old Virgin, which kind of took him up to a new level.
That's true.
But now since then, there's been Evan Almighty, which wasn't quite what everybody was expecting. That was the sequel to Bruce Almighty, and it was the most expensive comedy that had ever been made, but it just didn't have the laughs that everybody was expecting. But on the other hand, I think that Carell is going to have one of these amazing careers. That's in my view, he's going to supersede Jim Carrey and Robin Williams and all these guys. And I think 20 years from now, this guy's going to be getting Lifetime Achievement Awards. It might not be they might not be talking about Get Smart then, but they're going to be talking about a guy who's really made a name for himself and become a major comedy star. So, and of course, everybody who loves The Office is going to be curious to see what happens next with him.
Oh, definitely. And then obviously he was great in Anchorman, which I hear rumors are swirling about an Anchorman 2, and I hope his character would come back. He's hilarious.
Anchorman 2 Electric Boogaloo. I hope they do it. I mean, that would be I loved that movie. He was fantastic at it.
I know he was. Well, thank you so much. For more on George's stories, he has a couple different stories. Those will be in Friday's Oklahoman. That is June 20th in the Weekend Look section, and also on newsok.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.